Before we start the video, I want you to subscribe to the best Telegram channel at the first link in the description, where we show our earnings on cryptocurrencies, and not only. Our capital that we manage is more than $3 million. Thanks for subscribing. Also in the description is a links to verified exchangers when you register, on which you get a welcome bonus from me. Let's get to the video. Friends, the cryptocurrency market may not have finished falling yet, and there is a clear explanation. Due to the collapse of FTX, the largest Bitcoin holder in the world is on the verge of bankruptcy. Could there be a further market decline? Who sold a large amount of Ether and why? Also, what indicates that we may finally, soon, be out of a bearish phase? Let's get into it all now. The media, once again, has begun to push negative sentiment in the market. One of them was Decrypt, which is screaming at us that big investors are now short Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's all based on a CoinShares report, according to which short positions and flows account for 75% of the total. It's also noted that this is the highest value in the history of observation. But if you break it down and look at the numbers filed, the short institutional positions is only $18,400,000, while their long Bitcoin positions is $14,300,000. So, in fact, the situation is a little bit different from what media had written, and while some institutionalists bet on the fall, the others buy, hoping for the growth. Nevertheless, the market did try to dump the most desperate hamsters. Bitcoin, in 2 days, was able to drop 7%, from $16,700 to $15,500, getting back to this year's bottoms. Still, more painful was the drop in Ethereum, which was 11%. We have already come very close to the psychological barrier of $1,000, breaking through which we can drop the strongest people who believe. It is quite possible that we will do it, and then we can easily fly up and renew new heights of the next bull market. Even though it looks like manipulation, there is actually a simple explanation for this drop in Ethereum. As it turns out, the same hacker who stole about $40 million from the FTX exchange, in the equivalent of different cryptocurrencies, decided to make a big sale. He moved 50,000 Ethereum coins to a new wallet address, from which he exchanged them for wrapped Bitcoins. Incidentally, these Bitcoins were then distributed to 2 other addresses, one of which used a money laundering technique called blockchain. It involves the use of a long series of small transactions, and then these funds are quietly transferred to exchanges, where they are exchanged for real money or any other cryptocurrency. And despite the perfect sale, the thief is still in the top 40 largest Ethereum holders. Who knows how much more he might dump Ethereum? On Telegram, today I will post a study in which analysts give the reason why it is not yet the bottom, as well as how many Bitcoins holders sold on the FTX crash. Subscribe to the channel and on to the next topic. The collapse of the FTX exchange greatly affected the entire cryptocurrency market. But first and foremost, those companies that were affiliated with Alameda Research. The consequences continue to come out sideways, and this time, a Bitcoin holder, to the tune of $10 billion, is at risk. So, if it has to sell its assets, the whole market will be in trouble again. We are talking about a company with venture capital, Digital Currency Group, which includes Grayscale Fund, Genesis, an institutional lending company. Incidentally, it was CoinDesk, in the first place, that shook the reputation of the FTX exchange and Sam Bankman-Fried in particular, with its investigation. I feel the guys may be left without a bonus, if they have one of course, during the crypto winter. The bottom line is that due to the collapse of FTX and Alameda Research, Genesis has shut down withdrawals and is now looking for $1 billion to solve their liquidity problems. If this problem is not solved, it may already affect the Grayscale Fund. Although this is inaccurate, you'll find out why later. By the way, this fund issues GBTC shares, which trade 1-to-1 to the native Bitcoin. In fact, this gives an opportunity for large investors to try to make money on Bitcoin rate, but at the same time, not to be directly linked to cryptocurrency, because the regulation of crypto assets still is not properly established in many countries. and you can say, in the whole world. Now these shares are trading at a discount of almost 50%, which is not a good sign and indicates zero, rather, even negative demand for their product, although there are brave people who buy the bottom. Going back to Genesis, it turned out that it was not so easy to find $1 billion, and the management reported a possible bankruptcy. There had already been an attempt to raise financing from the Binance exchange, but unfortunately, Changpeng Zhao turned down the deal. First he promised to help FTX and turned it down, and now he has turned down Genesis. Is he going to help anyone at all? Or is he just pretending to be a good guy for the public while waiting for all the competitors to collapse? There was also an appeal to the investment giant Apollo Global Management, and apparently they never made a positive decision. As a result, having realized the situation, Genesis even decided to tighten its belts and reduce its request by the times, that is, to $50 million. In addition, there is a cherry on the cake, which is an ambiguous point about the confirmation of Grayscale's reserves. All of its cryptocurrency reserves are stored on the Coinbase exchange, and the exchange confirmed their existence with its report, but the wallet addresses themselves remained a secret, which tells us that we cannot be 100% confident in the authenticity of this information. Representatives of Grayscale themselves say that the wallet addresses are not disclosed for security reasons. By the way, Vitaly Buterin suggested a good solution to confirm the reserves of centralized exchanges. As he said, you can use the technology's snarks, the principle of which he described well in his blog. This even had time to discuss with Buterin. Some exchanges, such as Kraken, the same Coinbase and, of course, Binance, briefly explained that Vitalik offers a way for exchanges to confirm the presence of funds in the purse, but without disclosing the purse itself. But do not despair, because there are positive signals, which I will tell you about now. And, as you may have seen this morning, the market is also reacting positively. Click on the likes, subscribe to the channel, and onward, good news. First of all, to wrap up the news from Digital Currency Group, I'll also tell you about the positive. As CoinDesk writes, the situation at Genesis does not directly affect Grayscale, even if they fail to raise liquidity and file for bankruptcy. Creditors will have no claim on the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust assets. In other words, the domino effect will likely not continue. Moreover, the ARK Invest Fund, Cathie Wood, decided to invest in the very same shares of GBTC, and despite all the risks, purchased them in the amount of more than 170,000, and this is the 2nd time since the collapse of FTX. From such an event, even their drawdown in price decreased from 45% to 42%. This is not all. There is other good news. Some funds have already figured out that you should not miss the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency at a good price. After all, who knows, maybe there won't be such an opportunity anymore. Therefore, the chief operating officer, Pantera Capital, reported that the fund bought bitcoins worth $137 million. And he also published a prediction that even before halving, in the spring of 2024, the price of Bitcoin will return to $36,000, and after it will move towards $150,000. There is also information about the largest bank holding company in the USA, JP Morgan. It became known that they registered, as a trademark, the name of their cryptocurrency wallet, JP Morgan Wallet. It is designed to support cryptocurrency transfers, exchanges, and payment processing. The bank has been hitting this area very hard lately, but the most interesting thing lurks in the analysis of the crypto market, namely the RSI index. It shows that the market is almost oversold right now. As a rule, a RSI value of 70 or more indicates that an asset is overbought, while a value of 30 or less indicates the opposite situation. RSI levels for Bitcoin and Ethereum are around 32 and 34, respectively. So, it is likely that traders will soon start to create long positions and drive the market up. Basically, we're already seeing a recovery from the fall that happened the other day. And as a bonus, El Salvador has begun preparations for a volcano Bitcoin bond issue. All in all, in the market, there are still those who are willing to take risks and buy at current prices. Thanks for watching. Your Cryptanic.